Hey guys, it's Rich Munroe with BNB Investing Group. Thanks for jumping on with us. Running a little bit behind, waiting for Veronica to join us here shortly. And so we definitely will get started here as soon as she jumps on. But in the meantime, I did want to jump on and kind of give you guys a quick update on where things are with the City of Atlanta. And so as you know, BNB Investing Group is a group for new investors, for aspiring investors, and for investors that are already doing short-term rentals. And so, we look at the different nuances and we talk to different short-term rental operators that have different niches in the business. And we kind of talk about the pros and cons. And so whether you're doing a master lease strategy, or if you're doing acquisitions to purchase a property and do short-term rentals, or if you're managing for other properties. And so for those of you that just joined, give me a quick like or yes to make sure that you can hear me okay. Like I was mentioning, Veronica is running a little bit behind, so we're going to let her jump on here in a little while. Hopefully she can still join us this afternoon. If not, there's plenty of other things that I'd like to kind of cover with you guys. I know most of you are looking at properties in the City of Atlanta right now, and those that are not, depending on your area, kind of the first denominator is always understanding the local ordinances. And so as many of you are probably aware, the City of Atlanta over the last several years has been basically having a false start of implementing a new short-term rental ordinance rule that requires licensing in the City of Atlanta. And so I am the president of AMSTRA, a nonprofit Atlanta Metro Short-Term Rental Alliance. And if you're not a member and you're looking at properties in Atlanta, I'd encourage you to join. We actually attended with a pretty good turnout last Thursday at City Hall for a work session. And the purpose of that work session was to discuss the short-term rental ordinance proposal that was submitted by Antonio Lewis, one of the council members, which basically makes some changes to the current ordinance in that it does away with the primary residency component, which is what we were expecting. And it no longer requires a cap or a limit to 2 units. And however, is now proposing a buffer system, which means that you can only apply for that license if you're not within 2,000 feet of another short-term rental property. And so as you can imagine, that would be a real nightmare to try to administer and try to figure out. And so, we have strongly recommended during that work session that we do not use buffers and that we look at more of a global cap, which would mean in some other jurisdictions like Savannah, for example, I believe they have a 20% cap, where in the historic district of Savannah, you cannot have any more than 20% short-term rentals operating at any given time. And so what we're looking to propose is something along those same lines, is to understand what that cap number needs to be that makes sense, that fills the need of the City of Atlanta's council members that want to somehow limit the number of short-term rentals, but still allow an acceptable number that allows us to continue to do short-term rentals. And so that is going to be formally provided to the City of Atlanta with a proposal from AMSTRA. Our current board and our Vice President, Kathy McClure, is working on drafting what that's going to look like. And there are several other meetings coming up throughout the month of April and into May, where we're hoping to be successful. Now, the other big thing, obviously, is getting the city to acknowledge and formally put in place a procedure for grandfathering rights, which means if you're already up and running and doing a short-term rental, no matter what the restrictions are, that should not limit you at all to not be able to do short-term rentals. And so you won't be under any new rules or any cap if you're already up and running and operating. That's kind of what we're fighting for. And so that obviously would be kind of our objective. The current enforcement period has been extended until June. And so we anticipate being able to kind of work through the details here. I know a lot of you in Atlanta have been holding off setting up new short-term rentals. There's quite a few of other hosts that have kind of dropped off and converted over to longer-term rentals or midterm. because of what's going on in the city of Atlanta right now. And so I think we're getting close, and I'm optimistic that we're going to be able to work through those details. Amstra will be having some more member meetings to go through some more details as we learn them. We do have our lobbyist, Bernie Tokars, that's meeting with the city officials in the meantime to kind of talk about how some of these changes and how some of these terms are going to look for the short-term rental host in Atlanta. And so, we'll continue to update you on that front. And, we definitely would like to get this behind us, as a lot of you have been kind of holding on to what you're doing. Some of us have actually acquired licenses already, and through the prior definition based on the primary residency component. And so obviously, if you've already got your license, you won't be impacted by any of these changes. The other thing, in regard to the city of Atlanta, as far as what they're proposing, is having a separate cap on multifamily buildings. And in the current ordinance, they're defining multifamily as anything of 3 or more units. For some reason, they're latching onto the 1 to 2 primary residency as the definition for single-family residence. So we've also tried to redo that definition such that in the single family, we would have 1 to 4 units or up to a quadplex that would be under that global cap. And then we're also looking at, so multifamily would be 5 and plus units. I believe that they're looking at a cap of 33% if you're in a building that's larger than 13 plus units, and then a lower cap on below that. And so that's something that we are looking at as well to potentially recommend what those caps should look like. And so, like I said, we'll keep you guys updated on what's going on with the short-term rental ordinances in Atlanta. Unfortunately, it looks like Veronica might have had some issues come up. I know she was coming in from, or dialing in from San Juan, Puerto Rico. I know that we're in the exact same time zone, so I'm not sure if, and that's not the reason that she's not here, because of a time zone mix-up. So I'm hoping everything's okay there. But we're definitely going to need to probably reschedule our talk with Veronica. She is a hotel operator. She does some boutique hotels, and then she also has some short-term rental properties that she owns in San Juan, and actually in Old San Juan. And so I was kind of looking forward to this. So we will definitely have her back, hopefully next Thursday, to talk about her experience and how she's grown. I actually had the pleasure of touring one of her properties in Old San Juan, her boutique hotel, and was very impressed with the location, right in the heart of everything there. And she has a lot of units and probably has a lot to share with her experiences and on how she got to where she got. And so, again, hopefully everything's okay with her, and we can definitely reschedule. But I appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will look forward to seeing you guys next Thursday. Thanks again. Take care.